It is absolutely unprecedented. The grounds that are being cited by the government for purportedly claiming to revoke his green card and putting him in removal proceedings. This is a person who is a lawful permanent resident. This is a U.S. person. Those grounds are vague. They are rarely used. Essentially they are a form of punishment and retaliation for the exercise of free speech.
Mr. Khalil's detention has nothing to do with security. It is only about repression. The United States government has taken the position that it can arrest, detain, and seek to deport a lawful permanent resident exclusively because of his peaceful, constitutionally protected activism. In this case, activism in support of Palestinian human rights and an end to the genocide in Gaza.
Another big-time Hollywood actor has left the country to avoid whatever it is that they want to avoid. Maybe it's a list. Maybe it's evidence that the FBI is looking at now. Disney still regrets making the wrong call in casting, as one of their biggest remakes is set to flop soon. And debates are happening all around, with protesters holding green cards now eligible for deportation. Guys, we have a lot to talk about today. Let's go ahead and kick things off with Mahmoud Khalil. Watch.
Well, take a look at what the president said of the arrest over the weekend of a former Columbia student, a Palestinian organizer, saying that President Trump said, "We will find, apprehend, and deport these terrorist sympathizers from our country, never to return again. If you support terrorism, including the slaughtering of innocent men, women, and children, your presence is contrary to our national and foreign policy interest, and you are not welcome here." So again, that coming over the weekend of the ICE arrest of the former Columbia student for his apparent role in the anti-Israel protests and encampments that happened last year, and we showed you so many of them over the course of last year.
Should green card holders who support terrorism be deported, or is this just more liberal outrage? Type deport them if you think that they have no place in America, or liberal tears if you believe that this is just another overreaction from the left. Now, a federal judge from New York has blocked President Trump from deporting Khalil at the moment. But this raises a few issues for many Americans. Critics of the president would call this as an abuse of power, especially as Khalil is a green card holder. Others, though, would say that this is justified given that the Constitution is reserved for U.S. citizens and that green card holders can still be deported. Now, while some claim that this steps on his First Amendment right to free speech, Khalil is married to a U.S. citizen, and like I said, he has a green card. Cornell Law School immigration law professor Jacqueline Kelly Widmer, she says that green card holders have the most protection among lawful permanent residents, meaning that they're the closest to a U.S. citizen as you can get when it comes to constitutional rights. But that doesn't mean that they can't be deported. New York University law professor Adam Cox says that immigration law does allow the federal government to deport non-citizens, even people who are green card holders. But again, we go back to the argument that he's expressing himself, even though he's clearly shown that he's pro-Hamas. Here's what Senator John Kennedy had to say about that.
Senator, the Trump administration, are they right on this, or is this just a purist free speech play, and this man deserves his free speech rights wherever they take us?
They're right. The ACLU is defending Mr. Khalil. They say this is a freedom of speech case. I support freedom of speech. How else would we know who the idiots are without freedom of speech? This case is not about freedom of speech. It's about civilized behavior. It's about national security. It's about terrorism. Mr. Khalil is not an American citizen. He's here with a green card. By word and deed, at Columbia, he's shown that he supports Hamas. That's a violation of the Immigration and Naturalization Act, which says you can be deported if you support a terrorist organization. Here's the bottom line. Mr. Khalil hates America, as you said in your monologue. You know, if you're not happy where you are, move. You're not a tree. Secretary Rubio is going to help him move. We may lose in district court, depending on the judge that we get, but we'll win this in the Supreme Court.
There's a legal aspect to this, as stated by the senator, and Secretary Marco Rubio is well within his position to decide whether this individual should be deported or not. Although I'm thinking that the occupation of the Barnard College Library could probably play a hand in Secretary Rubio's decision. You see what's happening, guys? Layoffs are rising. The job market is tanking. The cost of living is out of control. Meanwhile, politicians are pushing new taxes like the unrealized gains tax, targeting your future earnings before you even make them. They don't want you to get ahead. Now, I was stuck in that trap for years, working harder, making less, and watching the system just drain my energy, my health, and my finances. Then I finally woke up. I found a way to escape the grind, build financial freedom, and take control of my life. Now I'm sharing everything that I've learned inside the Liberty Pursuit Network. This isn't just another group, it's a movement. It's a place where people like you and me break free from the rigged system. If you're waiting for a sign, this is it. The time is running out, guys. Opportunities like this don't last long. Hit the link down below. Join us in the Liberty Pursuit Network now. The protest there featured violent propaganda flyers that were said to have come from the Hamas media office, with one pamphlet saying that Hamas was justified in attacking Israel back in October 2023. Now, at this point, things are cut right down the middle, with both sides having a point to some extent. One side is saying that he's a possible threat to our national security, while the other is saying that he's free to say whatever he wants to. Now, we're going to have to wait on the Supreme Court to decide on whether he gets to stay or if he has to leave. Now, speaking of which, Rosie O'Donnell has decided to go. She's now moved to Ireland since she hates President Donald Trump. Others assume that it's because the FBI and the DOJ are reviewing thousands of files related to Jeffrey Epstein, which many people theorize is the same reason that Ellen DeGeneres had for leaving the country. Now, I want to go back to an old clip here where the president absolutely destroys Rosie O'Donnell. Watch.
Mr. Trump, one of the things people love about you is you speak your mind and you don't use a politician's filter. However, that is not without its downsides, in particular when it comes to women. You've called women you don't like fat pigs, dogs, slobs, and disgusting animals. Your Twitter account...
Only Rosie O'Donnell.
No, it wasn't. Your Twitter account...
Thank you.
For the record, it was well beyond Rosie O'Donnell.
Yes, I'm sure it was.
Your Twitter account has several disparaging comments about women's looks.
You know that Megyn Kelly really wanted to laugh out loud here, right? And since then, she's realized that Trump isn't the big bad guy that mainstream media has painted him out to be. But he does love to poke fun at Rosie. So here's the president talking about her during his meeting with Ireland's prime minister.
The number one issue in Ireland is housing, to be honest, and I think it was correctly pointed out. We've got to build more houses. We've got to build them faster to give the young people of Ireland an opportunity to afford to buy a house or to afford to rent a house. We have a lot of other good things happening. That's my number one priority.
Wonderful.
Are you trying to
and my
confirm,
second part
Mr.
question to this, Ireland is known for very happy, fun-loving people, great attitude, many in this room right now that I've met. Why in the world would you let Rosie O'Donnell move to Ireland? I think she's going to lower your happiness level.
That's true. Thank you. I like that question.
Do
you know you have Rosie O'Donnell? Do you know who she is? Do you know who she is?
Yeah.
You're better off not knowing.
As hilarious as that is, Fox News' Greg Gutfeld, he called out these celebrities for leaving the country, alleging that they're not telling us the truth as to why they have to leave the United States.
By the way, they never give you the real reason why they're leaving. Like Ellen DeGeneres says she was going to London because of Trump. No, it's because she was a monster and everybody hates her. That's the same thing with Rosie. You know why she's leaving, right? We know why she's leaving. Come on, we know. It's literally an ego trip. Once nobody likes you, you just leave.
So when are you leaving, Jesse?
So you say one thing to Dana about tariffs and she hates you. You'll come around. I actually respect what's going on with her.
Oh, God.
Come on, she's the only celebrity that actually put her mouth where her foot is.
She followed through.
Whatever that stupid saying is.
She
followed through. Yeah. Come on, we've all been saying, when are you going to leave? When are you going to leave? When are you going to leave the country? Well, she finally did it. So you know what? Atta girl.
That's
Atta girl.
That's right.
I wonder why she chose Ireland, Judge.
I don't know why she chose on. Maybe it's the potatoes. Who knows? But here's the thing. I mean, she says she moved to Ireland to get away from Trump. I mean, she's still posting about Donald Trump. I mean, she's suffering from Trump derangement syndrome.
If you ask Rosie, she left because this was what she saw as the best decision for her and for her family. Here's a short clip of what she posted on TikTok. Watch.
Well, hey, everybody. It's me, Rosie O'Donnell, star of the Flintstones. It's Tuesday all day, as my Nana would say. And I'm here in Ireland. And it's beautiful and warm. Not physically, it's actually quite cold. Moved here on January 15th. And it's been pretty wonderful, I have to say. The people are so loving and so kind, so welcoming. And I'm very grateful. I'm in the process of getting my Irish citizenship, as I have Irish grandparents, and that's what's going on, and that's where I've been and what I've been doing. And although I was never someone who thought I would move to another country, that's what I decided would be the best for myself and my 12-year-old child. And here we are. Here we are.
Now, moving on, Disney may be experiencing a lot of regret for sticking to their DEI ways, especially with their remake of the classic movie Snow White. The movie hasn't even been released worldwide, and yet the hate for it's already spread. This comes as their lead, Rachel Zegler, has shown herself to be a very woke individual, even suggesting that her on-screen partner, Andrew Burnap, may not appear in the film at all. She said this as she talked about the strength of Snow White and that there doesn't need to be a love interest in this movie, which again does not follow the original story at all. It's also been tough for Disney to sell that Zegler is Snow White while Gal Gadot is the evil queen who's supposedly envious of her looks. Now, I'm not going to say more than that because you already know what everybody's thinking. The setbacks and the controversies have led to a scaled back promotional event for the film in Segovia, Spain. And while Zegler attended the premiere, Gal Gadot was nowhere to be found. Now, I'm guessing that this movie is either going to flop because no one's going to watch it, or maybe people are going to be so curious that they actually opt to give it a try. But what do you guys think about this new approach to this all-time classic? Now, I want to redirect you guys to even more information that I know you guys deserve. Now, I covered this in a previous live stream with some illegal immigrants now deciding to self-deport as there's a better chance for them to return legally. Now, this comes after the genius move of the Trump administration to modify the existing CBP One app and allow migrants to decide to go home on their own accord. Make sure you guys check that out. As always, appreciate your time. Thanks for hitting the like button and subscribing. We'll see you next time.